Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Personality Pick, where you get to meet and get to know your favorite MMA Twitter and just gambling Twitter personalities. Gets a little bit more behind the scenes of how they do things and their process behind everything. And this week we have another great guest. I gotta welcome my man NarcoCop. Narco, how's it going?
What's up, bro? Sorry for the mess back there with the kids and stuff. And yeah, it's going well. Been really busy. But yeah, this week I prepped pretty well for UFC 280. And yeah, it's been pretty good. After I moved out here to Arizona, it's actually been pretty nice. The weather's unbelievable.
Oh shoot, when did you move? Because the last time we spoke, I think you were still in Chicago, weren't you?
Yeah, I moved. I got here beginning of August.
Oh shit, congrats! I did not know that.
Yeah, I got here like August 3rd. And yeah, I've been here since. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, you have a lot around you in Arizona, and it's a whole different weather than Chicago. It's not gonna be snowing at all, that's for sure.
Dude, the people are different out here, man. It's like, I don't know. So everybody's so much nicer. And it's probably, like the weather has something to do with it because in Chicago, it's always gloomy or rainy or cold or, all those things
Mhm.
are things that can, you know, not help with your mentality and make you more like pissed off and shit like that. So the sun is good for you. That I'll say.
What up, Gordo? Yeah, no, 100%. I was in Arizona. Well, I was in Arizona twice this summer. Once I went to Scottsdale, and then
Yeah.
the other time I was in Lake Havasu. I usually go
Scottsdale.
there every like year to Lake Havasu for a friend's birthday. We throw like a rager for his
Yeah.
birthday.
Lake Havasu is a party place, but Scottsdale is extremely nice. My brother lives out in Scottsdale.
Where are you at, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Glendale, which is
Okay.
20 minutes away. It's a really nice area too. It's basically where, well, I don't live by the Cardinals Stadium, but that's where the Cardinals Stadium is. It's in Glendale.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say Glendale, and the first city that rang a bell
Cali?
was Glendale, California. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait, you're
no,
20 minutes
Glendale. A different Glendale, Glendale, Arizona. Yeah.
away? That's good, man. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, what got you into MMA is pretty much my first question to you. Like, what sparked your interest in MMA as a whole?
Um, I've always liked combat sports in general because at a young age, at like 17, I started boxing. Um, Let me mute this thing. This is annoying. Um, yeah, so I started boxing at 17. I went to a gym called Windy City Gym, and honestly, it was my first cousin. He got me into boxing. He was he turned out to be a professional boxer. Um, he was boxing since he was 9, and he started, going to this gym. He's like, just come. I used to work out like in the gym, but not as far as like boxing and stuff like that. He's like, why don't you just come with me and see if you like it? So I went to Windy City Gym. It's in a really rough neighborhood in the south side of Chicago. And dude, we went in there and I talked to the coach at the time. His name was Sam Colonna. Really popular boxing coach in Chicago. He's like one of the most popular ones. And this when I first walked into the gym, it's funny because it's on the second floor and I walk into this building and dude, it looks like a factory. First of all, this building looks like a factory. It's on the corner of like a really, really rough neighborhood. And we're walking in, and it doesn't smell right in there. It fucking looks like it looks like the building's gonna fall, dude. So we get to the second floor, and there's a ring in there, and all the boxing stuff, but it's like, not, I don't want to say run down, but it kind of looks like one of those. Have you ever seen those old school like workout gyms, like
Uh-huh.
old school? Everything that's what it looks like for a boxing gym, though. Everything is old school in there. So I walk in there, and I meet the coach, and then he said, "Oh, what do you want to do?" I said, "I'd love to learn boxing and stuff. I always loved boxing. First of all, that's where I started in combat. I loved watching boxing, so it was just my thing, and so I started doing it, and I really liked it. I got hooked right away, and I would start going every day with my cousin. Every day, every day, every day. Go with him. Um, and that's how it kind of got started because I started loving combat sports because I started getting involved. At the time, 17, I'm 46, so I'm a little older. You're talking 30 years ago, like MMA wasn't really a thing then, right? It was like,
Yeah,
it was probably, was it even Strike Force? It was before that. I think it was Pride back then.
I
And
believe.
I would still watch it here and there, but my love was always boxing back then. So that's how it kind of first started. Like the flair started, I guess, with MMA because I started watching because I got involved with boxing. I started watching Pride, and yeah, I mean, that's how I guess that's the beginning of it there.
Okay. Have you ever like gone into the like kickboxing or jujitsu at all when you're with your when your time there?
So no, when I started there was strictly boxing.
Okay.
I did it for roughly 6 years, 5 to 6 years, and um, I was a police officer. I don't know if you know that, but I
Mhm.
was a police officer. And roughly 12 years ago, there was a gym that opened up in the precinct where I worked. And it was called Pedro Vianney's BJJ. It was basically this guy from Brazil named Pedro Vianney, very high level guy, and his brother that opened up a gym that was literally 2 minutes from my precinct, right? So me and another guy that I work with that was on my team. I was on a tactical team, a gang team. So me and him decided let's just join this gym, and we would hit that gym every morning before we started. We'd start at 8 o'clock. We'd hit the gym. There was a class at 6 in the morning, so we'd hit the 6 in the morning class, do the class, take a shower, and just go to work. So I did that for literally 3 months, and after I did it for 3 months, it was this is how I remember it, that it was 12 years ago or 13, whatever it was. It's because I was about to get married and we were gonna go to our honeymoon, right? And I'm just starting BJJ like 3 months, right? Do you know what the hell my fucking knees and my toes and shit and feet looked like? There was all burn marks everywhere. And here I am. I'm gonna go to Aruba on a freaking island while I have scrapes all over. My wife's like, "You better quit right now. You better stop because this is gonna look ridiculous on our honeymoon." So after like 3 months, I just stopped. I stopped doing it for a little while, and I thought I was gonna get back, but I never got back. And I just recently signed up with my son.
Yeah, see, I definitely know what you mean about like with the burn marks because I just started jujitsu not too long ago. This is like a month, I want to say, almost, or a month and a week. And dude, the burn marks are not
Yeah,
fun. The
yeah, I
mat
have burn
burn.
marks all over, dude. And imagine going on your honeymoon, like your knees are all like. I had to like literally put that ointment on for like 3 weeks straight, so that shit would at least kind of heal. Yeah,
That's hilarious. That's
funny
hilarious.
story. Yeah, but that's the only BJJ I've really done outside of just starting now.
Okay, so when are you planning on heading to your first class?
So I already did a couple of classes. It's at Lotus. It's here in Glendale. It's called Lotus Club Fight and Fitness. So my son started. My son's been going for about a little over a month now. So he loves it. He's 9 years old. He
Oh, that's
loves
a
it,
good
man.
age to start.
I
That's a good.
started. The funny thing is, I started him 2 days a week because I'm like, you know what? I want to see if he likes it. Like in the second week, he goes to me, no, 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 Dad, I want to go. I want to go every day. So I had to change it to like full time or whatever every day. Yeah, he loves it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, this is on the same topic. Now, what made you lead yourself into getting like a Twitter page, covering MMA as a whole? Because you have I know a multiple amount of shows that you do on a weekly basis. Lambo Props is one of the biggest ones, and it's a show that I watch every week. So, what made you start your Twitter page?
First off, thank you for watching that show. I appreciate that. Well, Twitter started honestly with poker.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I played poker for a very long time. I still play poker. I love playing poker. I've made, a lot of money playing poker. Um, yeah, I mean, I started a Twitter page. phew, I don't even know how long. I would have to check, but it's been at least, I want to say at least 8 to 10 years, probably more. I don't even know. I would have to go check. But yeah, I started mainly for poker. I talked a lot of poker on there back in the day. I made a lot of poker friends on there. We connected. And in the poker community, um, basically what happens is if you're a good player and obviously other poker players know you're good, then you can kind of there's high variance in poker, okay?
Mhm.
It's similar to MMA betting, okay? In a sense that it's high variance, right? So tournament poker is high variance. Like you can go 30 tournaments without even cashing, and then the 31st tournament you win the whole thing for 100,000, right? So it's very high variance. In order to offset the high variance, sometimes you need to sell pieces of yourself. And what I mean by that is if I'm playing 10 tournaments for $10,000, I probably want to sell 50% of it at a little bit of a markup to all these other poker players that know, because normal Joe Schmo is not going to really understand like what goes into like selling the pieces, why you're charging markup. But other poker players understand and know your skill and will pay for the markup because they played with you and they know you're good. So yeah, I know. Thanks a lot, Prince of Mischief. I just hit 1K today. So yeah,
Congrats.
prior to getting on the show. Yeah, so that's how I started Twitter, honestly. It was because of poker. I mean, it was all poker.
Okay, so you started as a poker page, and what kind of transitioned it into the MMA side?
So, okay, before I go to the MMA side, I'm gonna say this. So you see my name is NarcoCop on Twitter, right?
Uh-huh.
And the reason, there's a reason behind why it's called NarcoCop. That was my actual screen name on Poker Stars back in the day when Poker Stars was in the
Ah,
when I played poker online, that was my screen name. So that's how that name came up, Narco Cop. Because I was a narcotics officer. So Narco Cop. That's how I got my screen name. Yeah.
that's kinda what I guessed. Just looking at the name, I was like, "Okay, NarcoCop." He probably dealt with the narcotic side of being an
Yeah.
officer.
I dealt with gang and narcotics for 15 years of my career. Long
Okay.
time. Yeah.
So then you transitioned that into an MMA page. Was it because of the betting aspect, or was it just natural, something that just happened?
No, definitely the betting aspect. I started betting probably almost 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago. Um, started betting. I don't want to say like I have a great eye like for combat sports, like even boxing, but I kind of was in the sport. Like I know striking obviously a lot more than jujitsu because if you hear my breakdowns, I'm a lot better with looking at the striking aspect of MMA than the
Mhm.
jujitsu aspect. Because honestly, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an expert with jujitsu because I'm not. But as far as striking, I'm actually I have a pretty good eye for striking. So um, yeah, I mean, it started basically, probably 3 years ago where I kind of like a little bit started tweeting more stuff about MMA, putting my bets out, stuff like that. And, I started doing pretty well, nothing special, but, and then shortly thereafter, I think I started Lambo plays. Like I decided that I said, I saw all these shows out there that were basically prediction shows. Like, the people would come on, give their prediction, who they liked from a betting aspect. And I'm like, man, this type of show is not really out there. So I'm like, I gotta, I thought of the name and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna throw this name out there and do this type of show. I don't know how I came up with the 300 number plus 300 or better. I just thought, 300 is like a nice number to like hit at
Yeah.
minimum. So that's what I came up with. Like 200 is good, but it didn't sound like 300 is like it sounds a little better.
Yeah, tripling up is always better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Do you recall like what the first fight you ever watched was when it comes
Man,
to MMA?
it had to be Pride. It's somewhere in Pride. I just don't. I won't. I can't tell you like the first fight. I wouldn't know, but
Mhm.
it's definitely Pride. It's in the Pride days. It could be Dan Henderson. It could be who knows, but it's definitely. I remember Sakuraba a lot. Like the guy with you probably won't even know who that is because you were probably so
Mhm.
young. But the dude's ears were like literally he had no ears. If you've seen cauliflower ears, this guy, look him up. Look up
Sakura.
Sakuraba and look at this guy's ear. I don't think he has ears. I don't even know how this guy heard. I don't know his listening skills probably were not very good because
Oh my
his ears look completely closed. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Do you see those?
Oh my
That's Sakuraba. Dude, that guy is like, one of the goats of MMA, to be honest. He literally is.
I don't think I've seen cauliflower ear that bad.
Yeah, his are pretty bad, dude. Sakuraba is pretty bad. And that guy is known to like he's fought everybody in Pride, like Dan Henderson, I believe. He's fought a lot of people in Pride.
Okay.
Pride was a lot more, I want to say like a lot more meaner than the UFC is. Like you could do a lot of shit in Pride.
Well, they allowed soccer kicks,
I think they allowed everything. I can't
everything.
remember, but they allowed everything. Yeah.
Soccer
Um,
kicks. I remember stomps to the head were
God,
fine.
what was the dude from Brazil that kind of fought in the UFC as well that was in there?
You're
It's
talking
not
about
ringing a bell, but he was a
Gracie?
killer, huh?
Oh no, you're not talking about Hoist Gracie, right?
No, 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 no. This guy was a killer. Like he was like mean looking. He had a tattoo on his head. God, I can't remember his name. I can't believe it.
Was he
But
like
he
a
was
big
one of
name
the
in the
goats.
UFC? Bald dude.
He's bald. Yep, shaved head, like shaved head, had a tattoo in the
Buff
back
as
of his head.
hell. Wait, the name's at the tip of my tongue.
I'm gonna look him up now because
It's gonna bug.
yeah,
He was he on a season of the Ultimate Fighter with Chael Sonnen?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of
I don't.
something.
Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't remember him being there, but it's possible, I guess.
I'm checking right
God,
now.
what the heck is his name?
Wanderlei Silva?
What is it?
Was it Wanderlei Silva?
Wanderlei Silva. There you go.
There we go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he was on the season of
Okay, so
Ultimate
he
Fighter.
was. Yeah, him. Yes, yes. Wanderlei Silva. He's like one of the first, one of the original guys on Pride. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's who one of the main fighters I remember off of Pride, just because that's like the later part where I started like getting into MMA, watching those kind of highlights from Pride, and then seeing.
how old were you when Pride was going on? Were you even born?
Honestly, I don't think I was born for the first couple actually.
Yeah, I want to see when it first started. I'm just kind of curious now because
Yeah,
I think I watched it probably when it first started. Yeah, 1997.
a year before I was born.
1997. So at 97, I was still 21. So
Wow.
yeah, that's when I first started. I'm old.
Hey, no shame in that. Do you have like a favorite fighter that you like watching? Whether it could be in any division or it could be multiple fighters.
It's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of a little bit of favoritism, and because he's kind of like, I'm a Syrian and Benil Dariush is obviously a Syrian,
Yeah.
so that's who's my favorite. I mean, that's my favorite fighter. Mushroom, my guy, Mushroom.
The
Mushroom
Lone Stallion,
Lambos tomorrow, baby.
the Lone
Big Lambo
Stallion.
show tomorrow. We're bringing out the big guns.
I'm excited for that one. Yeah, dude, I've met Dariush a couple times while training. Really, really nice guy, really humble. Uh, Super underrated as well. I feel like a dark horse in the division where he's not really a dark horse, but he is because
You know what?
he is pretty high up there in the rankings. But
You know what's funny? He wasn't like he was in the UFC, but he wasn't really popular. Maybe like I want to say like maybe 2 fights in, 3 fights in, something like that. Years and years ago, right? He sent me and my son a tank top. I still have it. It's a tank top with like Dariush as like a cartoon character. We still have it. I still have his shirts.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
I
to
gotta
post.
I gotta go pluck it out. I don't know where it is now because we moved and stuff. But I'm gonna pluck it out one day and put it on Twitter. I'm gonna take a picture with it on and put it on Twitter because it's a
That's a
nice.
must. It's a
Yeah,
must.
yeah,
Okay, so Dariush is one of your favorite.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, it is. He is. I
yeah,
love the guy. He's such a nice guy.
personality wise, I don't think you get much nicer than that. Just people in general,
Yeah,
rather than just fighters. Usually, people think of fighters as angry people, and it's actually the opposite. I
yeah,
remember getting really intimidated going into my first practice, just thinking, man, these MMA guys are just really mean, or there must be like something wrong where they're just always mad and they just want to fight for a living. And it's the exact opposite. They let out the most frustration and anger at the bag in their training, and after training, it's like, oh, you want to grab dinner, you want to grab lunch, and they're
yeah.
all
They're
like mingling
different.
together, watching fights. It's the best kind of community, and
Yeah,
that's one reason why I also like being on Twitter. Everyone was so accepting and humble, and you get the occasional dickhead here and there, but
yeah. I don't
m-
want to say everyone because we know
now
there's a lot of like assholes too.
yeah, there's one that I feel like a lot of people have in common, but we'll leave him unnamed.
Yeah,
I think you have him in mind.
I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same person.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, Narco, how would you describe your betting style? Are you more risk averse, or are you more risky? Or do you just like to find and see where you have edge in the market?
I'm probably a little more risky than your average, like better, like because I'm more of a volume better, I believe, than the normal. Like I know some people, you know, they want to bet two or three plays and mostly money lines, and that's probably I don't want to say it's probably the best way, but it's probably a good way of doing it because your risk is a lot lower and but I'm a little more risk averse. Like I bet a lot of props. Like from I just like props and I do well in props. I mean, it's not like I don't like. I have a track record of them. I mean, I do well in props. I it's something I like to do. And it feels good when you hit like that plus 2,800. It just feels good, and I do well at it. I mean, I find spots that for instance, like one recently. Who was it by submission? The
Right?
Nigerian.
Oh, Nigerian.
Yeah,
Um,
he fought that short
Sadiq
notice
Yusuf.
guy.
Sadiq
Who?
Yusuf. Sadiq Yusuf.
Sadiq Yusuf. I mean, I don't think anybody was on that submission prop, and I saw it because there's a couple of things that I saw that I said to myself, this one guy he's fighting panic wrestles a lot. Sadiq Yusuf is very, very like strong, and the two guys that have wrestled him, there's only two guys that have tried to wrestle him. He went for subs against both guys. And it's like no one else has wrestled him except those two guys. And those two guys, he had deep submission attempts against both of them. And both those guys are way higher level than the guy he's fought. So I'm like, this guy's gonna wrestle him. That's all he does. I'm like, it's probably gonna get a guillotine, and it's like plus 1,400 or whatever the hell it was. So I played it. And I gave it out everywhere. Honestly, I said I
Mhm.
like that play.
See,
So I
you and Lou are the only two people that I knew that were on that sub prop. So props to you guys.
yeah
That was a sniper of a call, because I didn't think of it myself.
yeah. I mean, it's just something that I saw on tape, and I'm like, if I and that's another thing. Like some people say, well, tape is okay, but how the hell would you get that play if you didn't watch tape? You're not going to get that play because I saw it on the two fights where he got wrestled. He went for subs. He's
Yeah,
fighting a wrestler.
yeah, that's
So
freaking crazy.
yeah.
So this last part of the show, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull up the fight card on the screen, and we're just gonna do a rapid fire. You could say methods, you could say just winner, and we'll go from there. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And this is
Sounds good.
a special one because it's a really big card.
It's a big one.
I've been looking forward to this card for so long.
I
It
think
feels
we
like
all have.
ages.
We all have, dude. We
Yeah.
all have.
Cool. So starting with the first fight, we got Lena Landsberg against Carol Hosa.
Hosa.
Hosa. Okay. I kind of agree there. The next one's pretty obvious. Mukayev against Malcolm Gordon.
Mukayev. You know what's funny? Before we even go on, Andrew Gombas put out a tweet where he said, if you put $100 on Gordon, you're set to lose $100 on Gordon, or something of that nature. I don't remember the exact words he used.
Mm-hmm.
But then I tweeted back. I don't want to mistweet the guy. Let me just go over it because it's pretty funny. Honestly, I thought it was funny.
No, I saw it. I died.
Yeah. I don't want to mistweet it, but it's honestly really funny what he said, and I'm like, yeah, okay, then this is what makes sense.
I got it. So it's Malcolm Gordon is currently at plus 850 underdog to Muhammad Mukayev at betonline.ag, which means that if you bet $100 on Gordon, you'll lose $100.
Yep. And then do you see my response? Not only do you lose $100, but I would venture to say that you would also lost your damn mind if you bet on fucking Jared Gordon, because that's how I feel about Malcolm Gordon here. Like, he's got no shot, dude. They're feeding him to Mukayev.
He's going to be a corpse in there. I mean, do you think he gets it done via knockout or submission? I know it could be either way, but
I took ITD. I'm not messing around to figure out what way he's going to finish him.
Mm-hmm.
Safe route. I think he finishes him at I think minus 200 is value.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm going to be looking for that line on my book once it opens up. Next up, we got AJ Dobson against Armin Petrosian. This one's a little bit trickier for me.
Petrosian, buy low spot, in my opinion.
Okay. You don't think Dobson has a chance in the first round?
I don't like Dobson's striking, man. His striking sucks. He's powerful, but his striking is not good. I mean, did you watch the fight against Malkoun was piecing him up at a certain point. Like Petrosian, the thing is Petrosian is a very, very high level striker, man. People seem to look at his Caio Bahayo is not a fair fight because it's nothing like this fight. Bahayo just wrestled him. He didn't throw any strikes. I love Caio Bahayo, but all he did was wrestle him, right? Then he had fought Gregory Rodriguez in his first fight, who would absolutely destroy Dobson. And it was a split decision. He won. I think Rodriguez won, but it doesn't matter. It's a very, very competitive fight. This is such a drop down, man. Just think about the levels of Caio Bahayo, Gregory Rodriguez, AJ Dobson. It's a big drop down for Armin Petrosian, and it's only minus 200. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I look at this because I think Petrosian is that, people are making a big deal that he got knocked out by Yusufi or whatever the guy is, but anybody can get knocked out. We know that. I know that.
Fine.
Anybody can get knocked out, but you're telling me just off the knockout, the only path everybody says for Dobson's round 1 KO, right? So, but why is Petrosian only minus 200 then? And that prop specifically is like plus 800. And then Petrosian's value at minus 200 if that's only Dobson's path.
I think Dobson can get it done in the sub department as well because he has more subs than knockouts.
No, I will be surprised if Bahayo couldn't sub Petrosian nor Gregory Rodriguez, because remember Gregory Rodriguez had a deep sub on him and he couldn't get it. I don't think Dobson's getting it, bro. He's not that skilled with submission in the submission aspect. He's strong, but I don't think he has any sub game for Petrosian, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overlooking Dobson, but I don't know. I had a bet on him on Contender Series. I had a bet on him against Malkoun to finish Malkoun. That was a terrible look, to be honest. And I think Petrosian in the striking has got him easily.
100% the striking, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Abubakar Nurmagomedov against Gadzhiev Morgadzhiev.
God, I'm so torn on this, man.
I feel like that's
I have fight doesn't go to distance at a big plus money number. I think people are overlooking Godzi a little bit, to be honest. The only thing is my worry is he's going to 170. I don't know how he's going to look. I need to see him on the scale tomorrow, see how rough this cut was for him.
Mm-hmm.
This first time at 170.
And he's still going to be the smaller guy.
Is he? I thought he's going to be a bigger guy.
I mean, if on Topology,
Is he the smaller guy?
I don't think they have his height listed correctly. I don't think he's 6'1", but he's given up 2 inches in reach.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think if he looks good on the scale, I lean him at plus money.
Fair enough. Next up, we should have a really fun fight in this one. Zubaira Tukhugov against Lucas Almeida.
Another one I'm a little torn, but I'll go with the Brazilian, Almeida.
All right. Yeah.
I think that's violence. It is a violence fight for me.
Yeah, this is definitely a fight doesn't go to distance kind of fight. Because Zubaira comes out swinging in that first round. He just looks unstoppable. But Almeida has power, and he has the submission game as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's my favorite card on the prelims. Next fight, we have Volkan Oezdemir against Nikita Krylov. Another violence fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Krylov.
Yeah,
a good bit here.
Yeah, Krylov early and often.
Yeah.
Next up, Mahmoud Muradov against Caio Bahayo.
Yeah, I can't go against my boy Bahayo. He's made me a lot of money, so
yeah,
I'm gonna ride that train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my biggest bet, or second biggest bet till date was Caio against Petrosian.
Yeah, my biggest bet was Caio Bahayo against Jesse Murray on Dana White's Contender Series. I don't remember. I think it was minus 225, like a complete gift. Like Jesse Murray does not belong in the same ring with Caio Bahayo, but
not at all. Another great fight, Bilal Muhammad and Sean Brady.
I'm really torn, man. Another one where, I'm not picking money lines here because it's just like, how can you be really confident on either one of these guys? Like, I get it. Like Brady has good wrestling, but Bilal has good wrestling. Bilal has good takedown defense. Like, I understand Brady's strong, but is he going to be able to hold Bilal down? Like, Bilal scrambles up really good. I don't know, man. I think it's a close fight, split decision type of fight. I lean like plus money. So whoever's plus money by fight day, that's what I lean. But I'll go with Bilal because he's from Chicago.
Yeah, as of right now, Bilal is plus 125.
Yeah,
we have a bet on his money line. Although some people are like, why don't you just bet the decision? Like, you never know. I don't want to get too cute with it. He's already done it.
What decision's going to give you 60 points more? I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah. Next up, Katlyn Chookagian against Manon Fiorot.
I'll go Fiorot, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that one I kind of think Fiorot is a Chookagian. In my notes, I have a bunch of fight notes on up and coming fighters.
Yeah.
And in those notes, I specifically wrote. All right, let me just pull it up. Okay, word for word here, because I said this on the stream yesterday with Couch Warrior, so I had it already pulled up. Fiorot is like a Chookagian 3.0. She can grapple and a lot more powerful. Man, her striking really impresses me.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like, don't you think Chookagian is such a weasel? She's such a she fights close like with everybody, Mm-hmm. If you're not killing her, if it's going to decision, she's winning more often than not. And when she's losing decisions, they're always like split decisions she's losing. Like, she's a weasel. She throws a lot of volume. The other thing is, this is the first time that Fiorot's going to be the smaller lady in the ring, right? Chookagian's taller than her. I didn't like some things that Fiorot did against Jessica Maia. I'll say that. Like, Maia was landing a little bit on her. I think she's the better fighter. She should win, but I'm not going to venture to lay, minus 200 or whatever it is. She's minus 200, 225. Mm-hmm. Like, she's such a weasel, Chookagian. I hate betting against her.
But believe it or not, Fioreau's gonna be the hometown fighter here. She actually has 3 fights at, UAE Warriors.
Yeah, she might.
So
I mean, you're right. She might get the hometown cooking, or it might go to Chukagian again somehow, because she always seems to eat these split decisions her way. When she's, some of these she's clearly lost to me, and she wins. I
mhm.
don't know. Maybe it's the yelling. Whereas,
Prince of Mischief, man, I had to take it off because I'm not gonna be on Chook. I've been riding the Chook train for so long, and I know when to hop off. I think this is the time to hop off, so I can't bring back the header if I'm going against her, man.
yeah, nothing for me here, honestly. If I have to pick anybody, it's Furrow to win, but not like I'm not playing the money line.
That's fair enough.
Finish only, maybe Furrow
Yeah,
is good.
finish only. I think is at. I know Couch Warrior had that. It was
Minus 250.
50. Yeah.
I've Chukagian and can't finish shit.
Oh no, no. It's either Fioro early and often, or it's gonna go to decision, probably
Yeah.
split. Next up, we got Dariush against Gamrot.
Don't ask me. My favorite fighter.
Ugh.
Even though I played some Gamrot late props, but listen, I just don't think it's as easy as people think, man. I watched it today again just to reaffirm my mind, because I don't want to be swayed like on Dariush, because I didn't bet him. Let's put that on the table. I wanted like plus 200. And the only reason I didn't bet him, and it's only one reason, it's because he's been out of the ring for so long and he's coming off an injury. And he had a problem with his Achilles and his ankle. So that's the only reason. If he was completely healthy and he was fighting recently, I'm taking the plus 160 all day. But that's the only reason I didn't play him.
And the injuries are on the same leg.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is, if you watch the Gamrot against Diego Ferreira, right? I know Gamrot wins, but it's a lot closer than people think before that injury.
Mhm.
And Gamrot's taking him down. He can never control him for not even 5 seconds, right? He couldn't control Ferreira at all. But Dariush controlled him like crazy in both of their fights. So to me, like, I think there's a strength advantage on Dariush's side, to be honest. And I think people are not seeing that. I don't know. That's my opinion. He looks extremely strong when he's putting people down, man. He's holding almost everybody down. Gamrot, yeah, he's a great grappler. Yeah, he's a great scrambler. But his wrestling, like a lot of his wins come off wrestling.
Yep.
He's gonna just grapple fuck Dariush here? No
Oh.
way. No way.
But who
And
do you think is the better striker?
it's a 3-round fight. If it was a 5-round fight, I agree with Gamrot being minus 200. I don't agree with it in a 3-round fight. Who's the better striker? Probably Dariush, because he's got better kicks.
Yeah.
And he has, to me, he throws with more power. Like Gamrot is good, but he doesn't throw with a lot of power on the feet. He likes to touch you more.
Yeah, for me, my worry and why I didn't why I didn't take the plus money is the injuries, obviously, and then secondly, all of his losses, Dariush's losses are finishes, 4 finishes. So that's not.
Yeah, I hear you, but I think, okay, so like, I'll say this: Barbosa, he was killing Barbosa in that fight before he took that knee. Would have knocked anybody out. Come on, let's be honest. Anybody that catches that knee that Barbosa landed is gonna go out. It landed flush, full power right on the chin. I mean, you can't fault the guy for having a bad, saying he has a bad chin, right? Alex Hernandez was kind of weird because like he bum rushed him right away, and like he caught him cold, is how I see it from a boxing aspect. If you get caught cold in the beginning of a fight, you're gonna go out, dude, because you're not ready for the punches.
It's like
So
one of
I think. What is it?
It's like one of the flash knockouts. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to him. And then when you look, and this is how I look at it. Yeah, he got hurt against Close. Yeah, he got hurt against Dober. But did you see the amount of punches he took from Dober? Dober hits extremely freaking hard, right? If he lays those punches on 95% of the fighters, they're going out. And Dariush did not go out. So I don't think his chin is as bad as people say it is, honestly.
Yeah, it's the one thing for me is when a fighter gets knocked out over the course of his career, if he continues to get knocked out, the chin withers and it's never the same. No matter how he was knocked out, it could have been flash knockout or not, that chin won't be the same. And 4 times it's rough.
Yeah, but you got to look at he's fought 7 times after that and hasn't been knocked out. So if his chin was going bad, I agree with you. If I kept consistently seeing it, but it's been 7 fights after that and he hasn't been out. Yeah, he's been hurt, but like we can go back and look at every fighter within 7 fights. I guarantee you they've gotten hurt at some point, right? It's
Yeah.
MMA. You're going to get hurt. But, you know, he hasn't been knocked down in any of these fights. I don't recall. So,
Yeah, this
you
is
know,
my second favorite fight after the main event.
yeah, I mean, Gamrot, listen, I respect Gamrot. I think he's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. And I rewatched the Sarukian fight again today. I think he lost that fight. He lost 3-2, in my opinion.
Yeah, 3-2.
You know, he got the nod. I won money on it because I played him live, but I think he lost that fight. And you see that, in my opinion, he lost 2 out of the first 3 rounds. He started picking it up as the fight went on. He better not do that here. He can't lose round 1 and round 2. He's done then. He's got to go for a finish. So that's where I'm at on this fight. I'm really interested in it, though. I love the fight. I think it's going to be violence, to be honest. I see unders here.
Wow, that's something that you don't hear a lot in the community right now, because a lot of people think this fight goes to decision. I personally don't know. So I'm not even gonna go and project where I think this fight's gonna go. I'm pretty certain it's gonna be fireworks. Wherever
The reason why I say that is because I don't think any one of these guys can control each other on the ground. And when it comes to standing, Dariush is reckless. He's either gonna knock your ass out or you're probably gonna knock him out. Because if you see in these other fights that are going to decision with him, he's grappling. He's getting controlling people. He's not gonna control Gamrot.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say he can't knock out Gamrot because I think Dariush hits very fucking hard. So somebody's
a more powerful fighter.
Yeah, somebody's going to get knocked out here. And I hope Dariush knocks. I don't know if you have a bet. I'm sorry, but I love Dariush. I hope he knocks out Gamrot. I think he deserves a title shot. But yeah, I mean, if Gamrot gets him out, I think it's going to be a little bit later when Dariush tires.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sad day at the gym if Dariush loses.
Are they all hyped for him over there?
Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, because he's the owner of the gym, people are just gonna go ballistic over it. I'm not gonna be watching it with anyone from the gyms because it's gonna be 7 a.m. over here.
Yeah.
You know, when the card starts, and I'm not moving. I'm not driving anywhere during the card. I'm watching every single fight. But
it's crazy, man. It's going to be a crazy fight because I think it's a lot closer than people think, though.
Yeah.
When I watched the Diego Ferreira fight, even the Scott Holtzman fight, like Scott Holtzman was landing big punches on Gamrot in the first round, man. He landed like 2 nice uppercuts on Gamrot, nasty ones. You know, I don't know. I just think people are. Here's the thing. I just want to say one last thing because we don't want to stick on this fight. But if Gamrot does not get the decision against Sarukian, does not get the W, this line's not -200. I promise you. The only reason this line's -200 is because he got that W. If he gets the L in that fight, he's probably -140 right now.
He probably doesn't get this fight. It's probably
yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, if he has an L next to his name against Sarukian, this fight's not going to be. There's no chance he's -200. So I think it's a little bit of a, you know, what do they call it? Recency bias.
Recency bias, overhyping. I agree. Next fight, we have Peter Yan against Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I mean, I like Yan to win, but it's funny because I rewatched a lot of stuff. I played O'Malley by decision.
I don't blame you at all because in my head, I feel like he can keep this on the outside, but I think Yan's just, man.
Everybody says, like, I've been listening to everybody. Yan is going to kill him. I kind of thought the same, But rewatching Sandhagen, I rewatched a lot of shit today just to reinforce. Like rewatching Sandhagen fight. I mean, Sandhagen was doing well in the striking, the kicking game. Like O'Malley has very good footwork, man, and very good hands. Like, and it's a bigger cage. 3 rounds. I don't know. Can he steal the first and the second round? Very possible.
I don't think it's far-fetched at all. I'll just say that.
Yeah, and I'm getting +5. I don't think he's gonna stop Peter Yan. Like it's very, very, very low percentage. He's stopping Peter Yan. So if he wins, it's by decision, in my opinion, and it's +500. Okay, I'll take a small poke.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Next up, co-main event: Aljamain Sterling against TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna play Aljamain Sterling, but I know Dillashaw's older, injuries, this and that. I can't get over how bad Aljamain Sterling looks in round 4 and 5, and how good TJ Dillashaw looks round 4, round 5. Like every one of his fights, I went over the stats. He's out striking people in round 4 and 5. Every single one of them.
But it's another case of injuries.
Huh? Yeah, it is. It is. It is injuries. It is a little bit of concern but I'll tell you something, man. What really made me feel like playing TJ Dillashaw. I haven't played him yet on the money line because hopefully the line goes with me and I can get a better number. But I did his plays late round props, which are astronomical. But I'll tell you one thing. How many fighters do you know that can fight with a torn meniscus and torn PCL in the first round against Corey Sandhagen and keep coming on for the whole fucking fight, man? That's a tough one. That's a tough dude, man. That's a tough dude, man. TJ Dillashaw is one tough motherfucker. So I don't think Aljamain Sterling is a tough. The way he was shelling up against Peter Yan in round 4 and 5, like it was so bad. And I think Dillashaw is going to bring the same type of aggression and pressure in round 4 and 5.
An interesting from Uncle Wheezy of yesterday's pod. Dillashaw has only been controlled, I believe it was 88 seconds.
He got taken down. He got taken down 4 or 5 times by Dominic Cruz. He couldn't control him at all. Like, it's very hard to control him. He's strong. Honestly, I think he's back on the sauce. His nipples can cut like a fucking glass.
I think both of these guys are on the sauce. Have you seen Aljamain Sterling's needle marks?
Yeah, I mean, they might both be on a sauce, but I'm getting a plus money number where I know a guy, like if Aljamain doesn't finish him, I think he's in big freaking trouble in round 4 and 5, honestly. I think Dillashaw's going to finish him. Peter Yan, like if he had a little more cardio in that round 4 and 5, like he probably finishes Sterling. He just looked dead tired himself.
Yeah.
Because he got packed for, 10 minutes of the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's going to take a toll on anyone. And I'm on the same side here. I'm waiting on the number to see if it creeps up a little bit. Just these parlay bettors to just parlay up Sterling, which is what I think is going to happen. And then hopefully, I'm not going to say Saturday morning because it's not Saturday morning anymore. But Friday night, like 5 a.m. Saturday my time, I'm going to be looking to take TJ.
It's 150 now. I think we're going to get a little bit better of a number. I think we're going to get like 165, and then I'm happy. Yeah. I'm probably going to play him regardless.
Good to know. Yeah, I'll be on it probably for 2 units.
But play his late round props, man. Like how could Aljamain Sterling late round props be better than Dillashaw's? Like, why is Aljamain Sterling, this is what I saw today, and I'm like, this is stupid. Who's making these things? Aljamain Sterling, round 4. Where is it? Because it's stupid because I don't know who makes these lines, but they clearly don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling, round 4 is 2,400. Meanwhile, Dillashaw's 3,100. Aljamain Sterling, round 5, 2,900. Dillashaw, 3,700. Why?
Makes no sense.
Aljamain Sterling has better cardio? No. Who's the guy that has 2 fifth-round stoppages in his career and a 4th rounder? Dillashaw.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck is Sterling late round props better than this? Like, I don't get it. The one fight where he won in the 4th round is an illegal knee when he was getting killed by Peter Yan. He was gonna get stopped. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
That
I
was
don't know.
the Oscar-worthy
Yeah,
performance.
yeah, I know, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I was thinking I was gonna play Sterling, to be honest. But
Initially, I
then,
thought the same, and it's probably because we haven't seen TJ fight in so long, rather other than the Sandhagen fight. We haven't seen him fight in a while, so my memory was clouded. And
yeah,
going back and rewatching tape because I didn't bet on that Sandhagen fight. Going back and watching the tape, man, if he comes anywhere near that same level that he's used to bringing, I think it's going to be a problem for Aljo in the wrestling department and the striking specifically because I don't rate Aljo as a striker, to be honest. His striking is very lackluster and a lot of looping shots that don't really get through with no power. So how am I going to rate
I
it?
think it's incredible he went to split decision against Corey Sandhagen. Whether
Yeah.
he won or lost, he won, whatever. It's incredible to fight like that on one leg, bro. Like, he
Mhm.
had a torn meniscus in the 1st round off that submission attempt from Sandhagen. He came back to the corner and said, "My knee is done. It's torn. I heard it pop," and he still fought. Like, he's a warrior, dude. Like, he's tough as nail. Mentally, he's super tough, man. And outside of being knocked out early in his career by Dotson and the Cejudo one, like, his other 2 losses are against Asensao and Cruz, both by split. And I think he beat Cruz, to be honest. I
Mhm.
rewatched today. I think he won 3-2, but whatever.
That's judging for you.
Yeah.
Last but not least, main event of the evening: Charles Oliveira against Islam Makhachev.
I have 5 units on Islam at minus 165. I mean, if he subs him, he subs him, but I think Islam's going to get him down pretty easy. Oliveira's takedown defense is not very good. It's a matter of I think the only, well, I don't want to say the only, but I think the guillotine is going to be, he's got to be careful where he sticks his head when he's going for takedowns. But Islam's so good at that. Like, I don't think he's going to put his head in a choke.
Mhm.
But if Charles does get that guillotine in and locked in, like, he's probably going to choke him out, honestly, or have him tap. But yeah,
I
I,
tend to agree. I just think Charles's chin is fucking horrible. Like he's been knocked down. What is it? 5 times in the past 4 fights, twice against Gaethje, and these people are just scared to go down with him just because of that jujitsu. But Makhachev is not going to be scared.
you
Shout
think
out
that,
to Carlos Oliveira in the chat, by the way.
yeah, you think the chin's going to matter though? Like, I don't think Makhachev's going to stand. He shouldn't stand with him.
He shouldn't stand with him, but there's going to be the moments where he has to, like the beginning of the rounds.
Well, yeah, but I think he needs to be very cognizant that he needs to get the fight on the ground pretty quick.
100%.
Because, man, Oliveira, this new Oliveira, man, he's nasty on the feet, dude. Like, he's got a lot of power. I don't know if people like overlook that, but like his knees, his in the clinch, his elbows, even his punches, like he has a lot of power of late. And I mean, you do not want to stay on the feet with this guy very long. Like, I know, but like guys like Gagey and Chandler and those guys have a lot more power than Makachev on the feet. It's not even close, right? So I know Makachev is decent on the feet, but I I hope he doesn't
I
think
hope
he's
not
the better striker here.
for both
Like,
of us.
get this fight to the ground, do what you do best, and stay out of the submissions. And I think he can tire out Charles Oliveira too, to be honest.
Yeah, the gas tank is something that I don't rate for
It's a
Oliveira.
big question mark.
It's a big question mark.
Big.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited. But Narco, thank you so much for hopping on the show. I really appreciate it. You've been great. Let the people know where they can find you, what you have going on, and any new shows that you're planning on starting up.
Thanks for having me. First off, yeah, I mean, you can find me on NarcoCop on Twitter. NarcoCop MMA is my YouTube channel. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern time, a Lambo Plays podcast, episode 35. It's with DFS by the numbers, Brady and John Stargarian, MMA Fox on Twitter, the host of the Club and Sub podcast, along with my co-host Timothy Troiano. So all four of us, we're going to. I really like a lot of props on this card, which usually does not work out well for me. Every time I say, "Oh man, I like so many props here," like I don't do well. So maybe I won't say that this time. I take it back. I don't like a lot of props on this card, but it's gonna be a fun show. I mean, it's four of us. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, as far as new shows, nothing really new, but our live show on Twitter Spaces will be live during the fight card, bright and early over here in the West Coast, 7 p.m. Pretty early for us, but I have to do what I have to do, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to kind of like, now that I'm at 1K subscribers, I need to give the people more content. They got me there. Now it's, on me to give them more content. So I will. The only thing is, like, right now we're in a house where, we're looking to buy a house. I'm like putting offers. It's hectic everywhere right now. So I want to get to my new house. I want to get my own setup, like my own room, my own office, and then we'll have a lot of content rolling, because
There.
it's going to be all I have, like, literally, I have a ton of MMA posters that I want to frame, really like nice old school posters that I bought off this guy. So I want to frame them all, put them in my office, and make it look really nice, So it'll be a little bit, but we'll get there.
Awesome. Yeah, and make sure you guys follow Narco and sub to his YouTube channel. It's all at NarcoCop. And yeah, just stay following. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Personality Picks. Don't forget, I just launched a new show called NFL Bell with Lou Betcha. We go over all of the NFL games for the upcoming week. It's every Thursday at 3:30 Eastern. But yeah,
I'll
guys.
be watching.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Take care.